Good evening, this is writer Uttam, and I was reading the newspaper today and I read that a 14-year-old boy who was a porn addict actually raped his cousin and then dumped her body into a pond. Now, ever since I've read this piece of news, it has sent shock waves down my mind. First of all, a 14-year-old boy watching pornography. Well, you may think that everybody's watching it. Well, even if everybody's watching it, it is certainly not acceptable for a 14-year-old boy who is not legally considered an adult to watch a pornographic film. Any pornographic film uh, is allowed to be seen only by men and women who are above 18. So the first thing is, even though it's become very common for teenagers to watch pornography, it's not actually okay for a boy or girl below 18 to watch pornography, and I'm very, very strict and clear about it. Because pornography causes a lot of emotional damage, psychological damage to teenagers, to youth, and also to adults. I'm not going to get into details of that, but the first and the foremost thing is that a teenager, somebody who's below 18, should not have any access to pornography in the first place. Because what has happened is this boy was a porn addict, and probably at the time uh, uh, he saw some pornographic clips and got sexually aroused, and he saw this little girl, and the only way he could vent out his sexual frustration was to rape this little girl who was completely innocent, his own cousin. And uh, what can we say about the little girl? She lost her life just because she was on the way. I mean, that's just completely, it's so ridiculous, unacceptable that you bring to harm a girl for no fault of her own. So how do you ever justify that? The government should take strict actions that anybody who is below the legal age of 18 should not have any kind of access to audio-visual pornography. Now, how do you do that? See, one of the things which we can do is, these days there's a lot of thing about, like fingerprinting. So your fingerprint actually suggests whether you're an authentic person. So probably there could be some system installed on cell phones whereby if this particular person presses that on button or presses at a certain place, the fingerprint record shows that this person is legally below 18, and hence all the sites which are related to pornography, he or she will not be able to access that. So that is very, very important. And just because it's one of the incident and that too has happened in a village, we cannot let it go. Even one incident is very, very important, because you never know how many boys are watching pornography in a place like that, or how many young boys are watching pornography throughout the world, and who knows what may be happening in their minds and bodies. And so many other girls could be a victim of such a practice. So I would request the government throughout the world to devise such ways. I mean, it will take some time, but it's high time that certain techniques or certain URLs be blocked in such a way that when a man or woman below 18 actually tries to access pornography, he or she is not able to do so. Because it's only when you're like 18 or 19 that you kind of understand the consequences of a behavior. In this case, the most that will happen to a child is that he'll be sent to a juvenile home. But then, what if his mind is not corrected? He's going to come out and again repeat the same thing, which is again taking somebody's life or raping an innocent girl. How justified is that? It's not justified at all. And I don't want to go into details of what the mother did and things like that, but yes, I would strongly like to make a point once again that pornography and its accessibility to men and women below 18 should be completely banned, and a foolproof system should be devised that children have no access to pornography before that age. And on the contrary, I would say that sex education be introduced in schools and in colleges throughout the world, so that at least the whole concept of man and woman interaction is learnt properly. How to respect a woman, how to respect her body, how to respect her mind are actually taught to young boys, so that they don't end up doing such heinous crimes.